Wave of elite investigations signals political tightening in Beijing ahead of key event, insiders. In the first 40 days of 2026, the Chinese Communist Party launched a broad wave of investigations into senior officials, which analysts say raises questions about the regime's stability and power struggles ahead of its significant annual political event, the Two Sessions meetings, in early March. Between January 1 and February 9, at least 25 senior officials and executives in state-owned enterprises were announced by the CCP as being under investigation or under disciplinary review. In January, at least 10 current or retired officials at the regime's ministerial or vice-state level were purged, a noticeably higher figure than in comparable periods in recent years. The two highest-ranking figures were both senior military leaders, namely Zhang Youxia, vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, and Liu Zhenli, chief of the CMC's Joint Staff Department. Their removal from power has drawn particular attention, given the sensitivity of military politics and the rarity of investigations at that level. On the civilian side, the list includes Wang Xiangxi, former Minister of Emergency Management, who has been placed under disciplinary review and investigation. The cases of Sun Xiaoqing, former party secretary of Inner Mongolia, and Tong Yijuan, former Minister of Justice, have already moved into legal proceedings. Gu Jun, former general manager of China National Nuclear Corporation, a state-owned enterprise whose top executives are treated as full ministerial-level officials, has also been under investigation. In the financial sector, Lin Jingzhen, former vice president of the Bank of China, was expelled from the CCP. Other officials under investigation are scattered across local governments, the military, financial institutions, state-owned enterprises, the judiciary, research institutes, and public universities. Warning signal to sitting officials. Yeah, an insider within the CCP who spoke to the Epoch Times on condition that only his surname be published due to fears of reprisal, said that the pace and scope of the purges stand out even by the standards of Chinese leader Xi Jinping's long-running anti-corruption campaign. Normally, the authorities are careful about how many senior officials they announce at once, Ye said. They worry about public reaction. If too many are exposed, people start asking whether corruption is everywhere inside the CCP. 2 decades ago, Ye noted, China might see 5 or 6 ministerial-level officials investigated over the course of an entire year, often clustered around major political meetings. Now, you're seeing 5 in a single month, he said. It looks like designed to intimidate senior officials. Ye added that the timing is especially significant because the two generals, Zhang and Liu, were removed just weeks before the 2 sessions of the National People's Congress and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, the 2 houses of China's rubber-stamp legislature, where officials set national priorities, approve budgets, and signal policies for the coming year. Handling top-level cases before the 2 sessions clears obstacles for personnel arrangements, he said. The signal is very clear. Cui Kai, a China-based independent scholar who used a pseudonym due to fears of reprisal, told the Epoch Times that the recent investigations and purges have already affected the military's chain of command and could have spillover effects across the civilian leadership. This round of action isn't ending anytime soon, Cui said. Power struggles at the top are still playing out. At a minimum, things won't stabilize until around the 2 sessions in early March. It could even drag on until the next CCP Central Committee plenum in the fall. Cui added that personnel arrangements for both the NPC and the State Council are now under close scrutiny. He said that when serving ministers are investigated, other regime officials often view the announcements less as isolated corruption cases and more as political warnings. When a sitting minister is taken down, it's a reminder that discipline is tightening again, Cui said. The State Council is clearly being reshaped to ensure tighter alignment. Why this wave of purges is different. Hong, a China-based finance scholar who also spoke to the Epoch Times on condition that only his surname be published, noted that the cases span the judicial, financial, cultural, and local administrative systems rather than being concentrated in a single sector. There are reports of investigations going back 10 years in some places, 20 years in others, Hong said. Some cases involve illicit gains in the tens of millions of yuan, others in the hundreds of millions or more. The regime's official data underscore the scale of the campaign. According to a January 17 report by the Chinese state media outlet Xinhua News Agency, the CCP's disciplinary authorities opened more than 1 million cases nationwide in 2025, including 115 involving provincial or ministerial level officials. Nearly 983,000 people were purged over the year, including 69 senior officials. The regime also opened cases against 33,000 alleged bribe givers, with more than 4,300 transferred to prosecutors. However, the analyst said, the latest wave of cases appears less focused on sheer volume than on timing, seniority, and institutional spread, drawing more attention to how Xi's anti-corruption campaign could shape the regime's next round of personnel decisions during the two sessions. Yang Xi contributed to this report.